Anderson escaped from Harper's Ferry. He described his escape route. And so did Owen Brown, another one. They all went up to the high ground on the Shenandoah. They crossed, just what I'm saying is, it was a known route to Pennsylvania to get across the river. I mean, Osborne swam across, and the pattern, Owen Brown, and I think it was Owen Brown, and then Osborne was to go along the ridge, travel at night on the eastern side of the Shenandoah until you got to Pennsylvania. So we have two people in 1859 that knew
that are
that
describing their escape
this
route.
was their, so they knew this was how you got north. So people seem to have known this is how you get north. Number two, he's freed black. Number three, this is what Bill Terrio said. Shenandoah Springs. A woman wrote a novel about Shenandoah Springs. Her name was Emma Southworth. Bill said Shenandoah Springs was known as a hotbed of abolitionism. That was Bill's exact phrase. So that's the next circumstance. So Osborne, we have examples of people using this, and they knew it was a known route to the north. Okay. Secondly, we have Shenandoah was known as a sympathetic stop, and if so maybe the employer was sympathetic to, look the other way.
Okay.
And then the third thing is, if you look at the four maps I have, I went through the whole county, and I wrote it all down by hand. And then I looked. I knew the county. I looked to see where it clustered. Almost nothing escaping up here.
Right. It was
except
all
one thing. Except one thing. Young house servants in Shepherdstown. For some
up by
reason,
the, what's that, Shepherdstown up
Shepherdstown area,
there?
there was no massive takeoffs. There was like young kids that just took off, and it's almost like kids that they almost didn't even know better. But it was just individual kids. But the places where you had the place just empty out was right here, was this area.
Yeah.
And there's
District
no question.
13, 16 through 17.
If you see my four maps, it's this.
Yeah, because here's James Roper, son of Nicholas, and here's a McCormick. James has got this, but he had tons of acreage there and stuff. And again, wait, where I was just looking at, here's your Osborne owning property right here. But Cabletown, 1860 is where Lawson is at. They're living 1860.
You mean he'd been down here and then he went over to there because they took his land?
I don't know. The Bushy Ridge area, I'm assuming, was right through here.
We're going to go look at that right now.
Yeah, because here's Cabletown, because I think it's the 1860, no, it's either, in 1850 it's either District 28 or 1860 it's District 28, and the other one would be Cabletown where they're at. And see, but this whole time he's still working for them, operating that darn ferry.
It just makes too much. If it can't happen.